Hello and welcome. Welcome to our series of special sessions for Module 1. We have 4 teaching videos coming up and 2 practice videos. This module is being co-taught with Peter Levine. And Peter is truly the grandfather of somatic psychotherapy with trauma. Over 45 years ago, he pioneered a way of working with the body to help folks with tremendous amounts of trauma become unstuck, free from a lot of their suffering, and to grow and transform their relationship to their body and to the trauma as it's processed and released. We are thrilled to have Peter be with us for this and to share his wisdom and his experience. In Peter's videos, he's going to be talking about how trauma doesn't just impact the mind, but it impacts the body. He's going to describe the various ways that trauma does impact the body and how it manifests both psychologically and somatically. And this is important for us to understand that trauma is really primarily a somatic experience. Absolutely, it has a psychological component. But what causes us our suffering and our struggle is our nervous system and somatic experience being hijacked by these ancient trauma programs, trauma reactive or defensive state programs. And so we're constantly being driven around by our nervous system still reacting as if the trauma is ongoing. So Peter gives us a much better understanding of why all of this located in the body and how it lives there, and begins to speak to some of the exercises we can do to reclaim our body back from chronic traumatic dysregulation and stress, back to a place of feeling settled, and present, and grounded. What you'll learn in watching these videos from Peter is he talks about the 5 types of defensive states that we can have. This is slightly different from Deb's. You do not have to memorize any of the concepts in this section. We just wanted to expose you both to the way that Peter thinks and conceptualizes things, and that it's slightly different than polyvagal. They still work together beautifully. But he's going to explain a little bit about his perception of those 5 defensive states. You'll notice that in Peter's teaching, he will sometimes use the word therapist because he's teaching often to therapists, and will also use the word client. So try not to be dysregulated by his use of that word, because we're offering this as something for each of us as a layperson to be able to learn about how we can relate to these exercises and their impact on our nervous system. So even though he uses that language, feel free to translate it into your own experience working with your own states. In the videos that I share in this special session, we go into greater depth on the window of tolerance and much greater depth into symptoms and signs of dysregulation and signs of regulation, of being in the window of tolerance. One of the things you'll notice is that Deb's terminology, she uses the phrase sympathetic for hyperactivation, fight and flight. She uses the phrase ventral to describe the window of tolerance, the tend and befriend state, and the social engagement state. And she uses the term dorsal to describe the hypoactivation states of shutdown, collapse, disappear, fainting. Again, you don't have to memorize this. It's just more we want to give you a context and understanding of the ways that we have seen for years body lives and stays, trauma lives and stays in the body. And it is by our working with the body that we can heal ourselves of this traumatic tendency. And finally, Peter presents his 2 exercises. And again, I'd like you to try these very often this month. And you can add in the grounding exercise that I supplied in the welcome video to again give yourself a chance to see how different exercises land in your body, how they help you move. Let's get started.